The Real ResQ podcast is brought to you by SR3 Rescue Concepts, because you don't know what you don't know. Is your agency or company looking for helicopter training? Or maybe someone to come audit your program? How about a standardization and safety check? Or maybe just an annual FAA refresher? Look no further, because SR3 Rescue Concepts has what you need. They are here to help your program succeed, to keep you up to date with the current techniques, rules, regulations, and equipment. The training staff is top-notch, with certified flight instructor pilots and experienced crewmen that can provide training in rescue, tactical, and firefighting operations, as well as night vision goggle use and more. As part of the Petzl Technical Partner Program, they can also provide personal protective equipment inspection courses and training on the highly specific Lizard, made specifically by Petzl for helicopter use for cliff rescue operations. Another great advantage of SR3 Rescue Concepts is they go beyond the helicopter world. They have training programs for high-angle mountain rescue and their tactical medicine training program, which is structured around fundamental training for tactical combat casualty care and tactical emergency casualty care. To top it all off, they offer a safety audit program, a third-party review, fact-based and unbiased, to ensure any operation is functioning as safely and efficiently as possible. Contact them today at sr3rescueconcepts.com. Again, that's sr3rescueconcepts.com. And over on Instagram at sr3_rescue. That's on Instagram at sr3_rescue. You just make sure when you send them a message, you tell them, Quinny sent me here, and they will certainly take good care of you. I'm super pumped about our next guest coming up. I'm happy he came on and decided to do the podcast with me, just because he's been fun, and we always sit down and enjoy his stories. We laugh, so it's been a blast, and I'm so blessed and happy to have him here with me. His name is Brian Laubenstein, United States Coast Guard rescue swimmer number 318. And we were down in working together in the Gulf of Mexico, and kind of a funny story about Lobs. He was our operations boss at the time, ops boss. And we had made, a group of us had made up kind of rules of operations. And we had rule number 6. And rule number 6 was something that had been delayed, and it was like to be determined. And then it changed to from Lob's words of wisdom. And then eventually, a couple weeks later, sure enough, we got something going on. Somebody made a comment, and Laubo goes, "Gosh, don't be a prick." Boom. Rule number 6 was made, and rule number 6 has stayed forever the same. Don't be a prick. So please welcome my next guest. Psyched to have him here, Brian Laubenstein. My name is Jason Quinn. I am United States Coast Guard rescue swimmer number 500. These are my rescues and rescues from those of us that put our lives on the line every day so others may live. This is the Real ResQ podcast. All right, Brian Laubenstein, rescue swimmer number 318. Thank you for joining the Real ResQ podcast with me. Dude, my brother, man, you and I have been back and forth. We grew up in Massachusetts together, but we never knew each other because you're from real Boston and I'm from like Central Mass. It doesn't really count as Boston. So every time I say I'm from Boston, you're like, no, you're not. So thanks for coming on with me, Brian. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So just do me a favor. Can you introduce yourself to everybody out there and everybody that's going to be listening to this, and tell everybody about yourself?
Well, my name is Brian Laubenstein, and went in the Coast Guard. I was stationed at Chatham lifeboat down the Cape. I was a non-rate, so that means like I cleaned the boat and I do
In the
all the,
bathrooms.
yeah, and have to do the heads, and you have to stand a radio watch, and you got to get seasick about 20 times. and and the so anyways, trying to condense everything. So when I got to in Chatham, I was on the 44 footer.
And Chatham, for those people that don't know, is in Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Right. And it was they had two surf boats. We go out, do some training, and get in some of the waves. And you got to hook up to. There's a cable that goes around the boat, and you have to hook your harness to it so you don't go under.
So you'll fall out of the boat when you hit a big wave, start rolling over?
Oh no! The boat goes over. So.
Good to start a Coast Guard career.
Yeah. So, anyways, I always got seasick, and we're coming back in, and the H3 flies by,
which is the older helicopter version, the H3.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the H3, and they would fly over us, and when we're doing training, for cover, and so, and I was like, you know what, this being tied to to this cable, that's the only thing that's holding me in here. And we did one roll, and I said, you know what, I'm going up there. And so, because I'm looking at these guys, and they have the box lunches, and they're hanging out with their legs out on the where
hanging out on the helicopter, just
on the helicopter, and these guys had their box lunches, and I go, I gotta get into aviation. So,
oh my God, that's a good way to start.
I tell you what, Chatham was really cool. The ONC was a real salty guy. Jack.
ONC is officer in charge. So I'm gonna just help out with a little lingo for anybody that's listening that's like, oh, what the heck's an OIC? Yeah, officer in charge of that unit. So,
right.
Yeah. Salty dog, old school.
Salty dog, salty dog. So, and I got in all kinds of trouble when I was in there. When I first got in there.
Come on, Laubo, not you. What are you talking about?
Oh, me?
Yeah, right. Listen, we're not going to talk some of those stories, which we have in the past, which I love.
Yeah. No.
I don't want you to incriminate yourself right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I learned how to do a boatswain's chair on the lighthouse, and how to pull yourself up with the rope.
Yeah.
With a little board about this big.
So you're sitting on this little square, like piece of plywood. It's our little rectangle.
Yeah. With a hemp rope, and I'm like,
oh gosh.
Well, anyways, so anyways, I put my name on the rescue swimmer school, and so I put my name on it, and we had the XPO. He's like the
executive petty officer. So that's the second guy in charge. So you have your OIC, which is the officer in charge, and the XPO. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So the XPO, he was a tool.
Oh, that's always good words to hear. Executive petty officer, the guy in charge, and he's a tool. Sorry. If he's listening, sorry.
Yeah.
Had a couple of those. Whatever.
So anyways, and
I love you.
So anyways, I got my name on the list of rescue swimmer school, and the XPO, he's like, you can't do that. Those swimmers, man, they swim like 4 miles out to the boat, and they tow it back with it, and they had all these boat stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And the guy's like, there's no way you're gonna be able to do it, man. Those are crazy guys. And I'm like, Sign me up.
Dude, that is awesome. So then you go into swimmer school.
And I went to swimmer school.
Yeah.
Butch Flight was my head teacher.
Well, you know what's funny about that is Butch Flight was my instructor as well.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, I can't, I'm looking forward to getting Butch on here too, but yeah, Butch was one of my instructors.
Yeah.
And he was a hard ass for us too.
Yeah. And you know what? They like to punish people. Yeah, no, they were really good. We had really good instructors.
Yeah, us too, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so you make it through swimmer school. You get to your first unit was in where after swimmer school?
Hawaii.
So you went to Barbers Point, Hawaii.
Yep.
And then from there you went to where?
I went to Cape Cod.
So Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And then from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, you went where?
Yeah. Oh, I went to Mobile.
Alabama. Yep. Now after Alabama, Mobile, where'd you go?
Cape Cod.
Back to Cape Cod?
Yep.
Dang, that's awesome. And then after that, you went to New Orleans, Louisiana. And that's where you retired out of, right?
Yeah.
That's a good case.
Jeff Tunks was my chief.
Oh, you know, Jeff.
Yeah. The Bluebird.
That's awesome. I like Jeff. Jeff's a good guy.
Yeah.
Another brother.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man, that's a good career. And then you and I, we ended up working together down in the Gulf of Mexico with another private company and doing offshore medevac stuff. And actually kind of a side story. So you and I, this is one thing that I remember with you and I specifically is it was you, me, and Dustin Bernatovich, Bernie. So it was, all right, so it's you, me, and Bernatovich, and we get launched out. We got a full swimmer crew. I'm a hoist operator, you're paramedic, and he was a swimmer on scene. And we show up on scene. There was a hoist in. I'm dropping you in. I'm sending Bernie in. You guys were doing CPR for like 20 minutes as we're doing patterns up top. And we ended up having to transport the guy back to somewhere in Louisiana, passed away. It was like one of those cases that never ended well. But for us, it was I remember that one. Yeah, it was a wild ride. That was God, we did, and you and Bernie were working down there. You intubated the guy on deck. He had already been worked on. Gosh, that was a rough case for all of us. And like easy, like it wasn't a hard case, but it was one of those ones that you leave there like, man, I wish we could have done more. Because we were on our way, if you remember, we're flying out to another medevac, and then that came in, and we were 15 minutes from being on scene. That was, we couldn't get any better to be on scene time. Crazy. So, but anyway, well, I'll tell you what, Brian, I want to touch on 4 cases that you have specifically, and then after that, the floor is yours, and you can tell me any stories you want. So I'm going to read this out, man. This is one of your big cases, the first of many, or I don't know about the first of many, but definitely one that we're going to talk about. So it'll be number 1. Ready?
Okay.
Citation to accompany the award of the Air Medal to Brian E. Laubenstein, Aviation Survival Technician, 2nd Class, United States Coast Guard. Mr. Laubenstein is cited for meritorious achievement in aerial flight on the evening of 24 September 1998 while serving as a rescue swimmer of the United States Coast Guard helicopter 6014. The aircrew is engaged in perilous rescue of 2 hypothermic survivors trapped in a small ledge 150 feet down in a narrow rock quarry in Quincy, Massachusetts. Combating a blinding shower of jagged shale, pebbles, and sand produced by the H-60 rotor wash, Petty Officer Laubenstein successfully navigated through the daunting maze of trees, cables, pipes, and steep overhangs in complete darkness. Communications and signals to the H-60 were nearly impossible to do due to the deafening echo of the helicopter noise and the black abyss created by the quarry's overhangs. after being turned upside down and falling 20 feet into the water with the survivor, Pedro Laubenstein decided that the conditions were too dangerous to make more than one rescue from the depth of the quarry. Using sheer strength and determination, he supported the weight of both survivors in an exhausting ascent to the relocation point 30 feet above where he could effect more normal rescue. Holy cow. Becoming entangled in rappelling lines that nearly pulled the victim out of his arms and served in the midsection of the other, Pedro Laubenstein forcefully overcame the frantic struggles of the survivor and cut his way clear with his rescue knife. With the worst over, Pedro Laubenstein flawlessly executed the relocation plan and skillfully completed the 190-foot hoist of both survivors to the helicopter. Pedro Laubenstein's actions, aeronautical skill, and valor were instrumental in the rescue of the two survivors. His courage, judgment, and devotion to duty are most highly commended with the keeping of the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. Holy God, dude. So is it, first of all, 190-foot hoist? Dude, that's awesome. That's ridiculous.
That was crazy.
So wait, all right. So what was the call that came over what was the SAR alarm that when it goes off and they announce it? Do you remember?
Well, we were just coming back from another case.
Of course you were.
Yeah. And so anyways, the pilots, they're like, we got a call, and we just got back from a medevac, and they said, hey, they need you guys on up and towards Boston. And the two pilots didn't know like where they were. So I said, yeah, we gotta go to the Quincy Quarry. I know exactly where it is. You can jump there.
Yeah, it's the bonus part about being from Mass. You're like, oh, I know where that is.
Yeah. So anyways, we got that.
So when you get on scene,
So when we get on scene, we get above it. We do a couple circles, and so we had to have everybody's looking out the windows, because to get over into the quarry with the hoist for both survivors to the helicopter. Yeah. So that one there, the pilot, that pilot I had was awesome. So basically they came in with the 860 and they said, okay, we're gonna low you down and get this kid. And
now what happened? Oh, I want to back up real quick. What happened to this kid? Like, did he fall? Did he jump? And
no, see what happened, they put these chain link fences, like you just stick them up, they're not really going, and then they have like a cable around that they knock in the cable in the quarry.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyways, these two goofy rope climbers got stuck up themselves. There was like two kids, two girls, and a boy. And the boy, he went over the he went down, and then he was trying to go down and show off for the little girls and stuff.
Yeah.
And he missed his handhold, and
that's how he fell.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So one kid died.
Oh, God.
He lost his head. Literally.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And then so if you could this is the abyss.
So you
the best word I could get.
This round hole in the earth
Yeah.
And
So,
it's 300 feet to the water from the top of the cliff, like the top of the quarry.
well,
It's a
and
long way
then
down.
we had trees all around the quarry. So we had to come up, and the pilots were like, we have like 6 inches before we start hitting trees.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, we can't, if we hit one of these, you know, they're not big branches, but
Yeah.
enough to do it.
Put a
So
dent
anyways,
on
they
it.
said, and
All
they're
right, all
like,
right. So now you're on scene. You're seeing this, and they're starting
we're
to
looking
hoist
at
you
it.
in. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping a little bit ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. So you're on scene. Yep.
Yeah. The pilot's like, well, what do you want to do, Lobs? And I said, well, we probably want to, we're not going in there twice, Yeah. So then he said, oh, okay, Lobs, what we're going to do is, I'm going to, what was his name? Gingrich was my mech.
Okay.
And so he lowered me down, halfway down, and it was, I'd say it was probably about 20 feet, and they were just hanging in on that cable. And the guys, they weren't really helping us,
Holy
And
cow.
so anyways, they said, listen, you gotta chuck the rope, and we'll bring you up, but I won't bring you up until you get off that rope, and we'll go up in the cable,
Yeah.
and so went up there, and that was crazy, man.
Did you have to so that's what it says, like you had to cut away the ropes with your rescue knife to get
Yeah.
the guys out. So they're all freaking out kind of on you, and you're
Yeah.
going up to put them in. Did you use a basket or the quick strap?
Oh yeah, I put this quick strap on them.
And then cut the rope, and then you're getting hoisted out with them.
Right.
Holy cow. So the guy that fell, and you were like, did you literally pick the guy up and walk him up 30 feet?
Oh yeah, this is why we couldn't get in tight enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they had the rope and everything, and the guy
Yeah.
didn't want to let go of their rope. And I said, well, this is the only train in town. You want to come up, or you want to climb, jump back in?
Oh my
That's
gosh.
exactly what I said. He came up there, and and we got those two guys, and we got them in the aircraft, calmed them down, and brought them to Mass General.
Yeah.
And brought them up there, and they were like, we're never. I'm getting rid of my ropes. One of the guys said. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
That was a good one.
Oof. Well, on that, I'm going to go to number 2. You ready for number 2?
Number 2, we're doing an air medal.
The second air medal in lieu of Gold Star in lieu of second. You ready for this one? I can't wait to hear this one too. All right. Citation to the accompanying award of the Air Medal, Gold Star in lieu of second, to Brian E. Laubenstein, Aviation Survival Technician, First Class, United States Coast Guard. Petty Officer, I'm going to call you Laubo. Just Pastor Laubo.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. Pastor Laubo is cited for meritorious achievement in aerial flight while serving as rescue swimmer aboard HH-60 helicopter 6001 on the night of 03 November 2005. Responding to a duress call from a 55-foot fishing vessel, Sea Witch, Petty Officer Lobbs, the flight crew, through the darkness, low visibility, and 55-knot winds to reach the distressed vessel. Disabled and taken on water, the Sea Witch V, or Sea Witch 5,
Yeah.
is being tossed about severely by 20-foot waves, approximately 100 nautical miles northeast of Cape Cod. 20-foot seas. Dude. The boat's erratic movement made the direct hoist from the vessel's deck impossible, and the vessel's captain advised that the life raft was torn and would not inflate. Without hesitations, Laubo volunteered to deploy into the dark and raging seas to recover the crewmen as they abandoned the ship into the frigid water. Demonstrating incredible courage and determination, he fought his way through giant seas to reach the first survivor, who was entangled in several lines that effectively tethered him to the sinking vessel. The dude is stuck. Oh my God. Reacting quickly to save the imperiled fishermen, Laubo heroically struggled to cut the lines while keeping the combatant victim's head above the surface. When he finally had the survivor untangled and secured into the rescue harness, Laubo recognized the man's survival suit had filled with water. In mid-hoist, he retrieved his survival knife and carefully cut the ballooning suit, allowing for safe recovery for both he and the survivor into the aircraft cabin. Undauntedly by the harrowing and tiring evolution, he deployed twice more to successfully rescue the other two survivors, each time being repeatedly dragged underwater by the crashing waves. Petty Officer Laubo, actions, aeronautical skills were instrumental in the saving 3 lives. His courage, judgment, and devotion and duty are most heartily commended in keeping with the highest traditions of the U.S. Coast Guard. Dude, this case is insane. 55 knot winds, 20-foot seas, a sinking vessel, and they're in Gumby suits in the water. Are you kidding me?
This was this pilot I had.
Yeah.
This is the first flight of him being the pilot in charge. He was like, come on, we can get this. We got to get these guys. We can't leave them out there,
Wow.
I gave
And
him
you're 100 nautical miles offshore. You're like, that's not just a stone throw away. You're out there.
Yeah, we were out past George's Bank.
Oh my God. All right, so I got a couple questions with this.
Yeah.
So dark and stormy because it's a nighttime mission. It's the one. This is a type of case that everybody talks about, like the dark and stormy night. Cases don't come like this in good weather in daytime. It just doesn't happen. It's always at night under
Right.
terrible weather. So you guys are getting your butt kicked on the flight out there, and then you get there, 20-foot seas, the boat's sinking. Erratic movements in all directions. So were you guys radioing down to the captain to ask him to throw the survivors in the water?
Yeah.
To jump in? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there was another boat there. And the guys from that other boat, they tried, they threw their life raft next to the other one. So they were like 2 boats there.
Yeah.
And the other boat is like, hey, these waves are too big for us. We got to head in. Good luck, guys. and that's how those guys started getting back out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you've got guys in the water, and did you just get lowered? So you got lowered down to the water, disconnect from the hoist hook, and you're swimming over to them.
Yep.
The first fisherman you got, so he's in a Gumby suit. So a Gumby suit is just that. It's a survival suit, really thick neoprene that everybody jumps in to basically stay warm and alive in really icy cold waters. I know we had to deal with a lot of that up in Alaska with guys in Gumby suits and stuff. So, as you're hoisting them out, like, did you notice all the water that was in the suit, or how did that come about?
The mech sent the strap down, and they put the strap around them.
Yeah.
And as they were pulling them up, they said, they pulled the guy up, and they were having a hard time trying to get him into the cabin because he was the suit was full of water.
So you're at the cabin door at this point. So you're 50 feet off the water.
Right.
Holy cow. So now you can't get him inside the cabin of the aircraft.
Well, you know what I did is we got him up there and got him and the mech pulled the guy in there and he's still full of water. So I said, hey, just hold the back of my harness. So I grab him and we're pulling him in. And I was like, oh, hold on a second. And I said, took out the knife. I said, I've never used this first. And what I did is I got his Gumby suit and I sliced off the foot part of it, and all the water went out, and like the helo was like, whoa, there's a lot of water in here.
You know, like a wave of water inside the cabin of the aircraft. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, that's nuts. So after that, you went down and then grabbed the other two guys, again, just getting your ass beat up by the water, by the waves, crashed the waves.
Yeah, I got some good waves. That was like, if I had a boogie board, I probably could have made it to Gloucester.
From 100 nautical miles out, I'm rolling home on a boogie board. That is sick. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, next one.
All right.
You ready?
All right.
Your next big case. You've had a lot of them. So, citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal to Brian E. Laubenstein, Aviation Survival Technician, First Class, United States Coast Guard. Petty Officer Laubenstein is cited for the meritorious service in performance on duty on 17 October 2009 while serving as a rescue swimmer aboard Coast Guard Rescue Helicopter 6540 during the rescue of 3 survivors of a capsized recreational vessel in Lake Pontchartrain, Louisiana. Reported overdue, the small vessel had overturned in the lake's heavy, wind-driven trop over 9 hours before the Coast Guard helicopter arrived on scene. During the second assigned search, Petty Officer Laubenstein alertly spotted one of the survivors waving, directed the helicopter into position, and quickly deployed into the water. He then expertly triaged the 3 survivors, which included a father and his 2 sons. Determining the 5-year-old son was unresponsive with no vital signs, Petty Officer Laubenstein adaptively decided to hoist the severely hypothermic father and the boy, opting for the rescue of the teenage son by a nearby surface asset. Recently trained in pediatric CPR, Petty Officer Laubenstein began specific resuscitation techniques and rescue breathing on the 5-year-old boy while in the water. After the hoist of the 2, Petty Officer Laubenstein cradled the boy and continued CPR. As the aircraft touched down at the hospital with the boy's pulse restored, Petty Officer Laubenstein carried him into the hospital where a 15-person emergency medical team continued to care. Demonstrating superb mental fortitude and physical stamina, Petty Officer Laubenstein rescued the boy whose core temperature had dropped below 81 degrees, 5 degrees below the considered compatible with life. Petty Officer Laubenstein's courage, judgment, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended in keeping up with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. Dude, this is insane. So you're telling me, like, you get on scene, 3 people in the water getting blown around, and Lake Pontchartrain, for everybody that doesn't know this, like if you look at New Orleans, Louisiana on a map, Lake Pontchartrain is just north of that big, huge lake. Yeah. And the only thing I remember about Lake Pontchartrain is there's one bridge that runs the entire length of the lake. And when you get to the middle of it, you're like, wow, this is a really long bridge.
Yeah, 28 miles.
28-mile bridge. Yeah, sick. Straight up ridiculous. So, all right, let's back up to the beginning with this story. So you're on duty. You get called out on an overdue vessel in the lake.
Yep. We went out. We actually were going out for another boat. On, you know, you have that big long bridge.
Yep.
So there was a helo that was on that other side of the bridge.
So there's actually 2 helicopters doing a search.
Right. And then
Wow.
they said they had us slide over to the other side of the bridge. We did a couple of track searches, and we were going back and forth. We were getting low on fuel.
Of course we are. Why
yeah,
wouldn't we be getting low on
65,
fuel?
Yeah,
65. Love it.
yeah, fuel hog. And so I said, hey, let me sit on the raft. So if I want to see if I can see anything. So I get on, and the mech's like, yeah, go ahead. And then the dolphin, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a nice little, the seat's about this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all of like a foot and a half.
Yeah. So we did a couple of searches and slid back over this way. And I was saying to them, well, if the wind is going this way, why aren't we on that side of the bridge? And so we slid over, and then we slid back to the bridge, and then we get over there, and I'm sitting in the door, hanging my feet out and stuff. And next thing you know is I'm looking down, and I'm like, is that a basketball? And it looked like a basketball. It was like a basketball, or my kid must have had it in the boat. So anyways, I'm like, hey, I see something down there, and they're like, all right, well, here, let's go down and let's see what's what that is. And they're like, hey man, we're really low on fuel. I said, all right, well, just get me close and free fall. So I free fall, and they're right in front of me, maybe from here to the street in front of the house.
So you're talking like 10 yards, 15 yards?
Probably about, I'd say probably swim about 50 yards, 50, 60 yards going to him. So now the dad was so hypothermic. He was like blue. I'm like, all right, Dad, we gotta I'm gonna get you in the helicopter first. And so I put him on the dad on this with this strapped him in.
Yeah.
Brought him up, and the teenage son, I got him, and then the little kid, he was, I think the kid was like 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
He was like 5 years old. They were in the water for like something like 16 hours or something.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And they were like, I was like, oh shit, I had just, I was like in the paramedic school at this time. And so anyways, I said, I just did, I was in the part of my training of
pediatrics.
Pediatrics, yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I started pediatric CPR.
So on the way, from the time you got him out of the water, no vital signs, no pulse, not breathing. Like, if it hadn't been for you, the kid was dead.
Right. I mean, it was like minutes. Like this kid is going to die. And I knew the doctors and everything. So I called my friend Patrick, and I'm like, we're coming in hot.
Yeah.
These people are real bad, and we're coming in.
So you're doing hold on real quick. So you're doing CPR on the aircraft, and this kid's cold, so he's got a core temperature of, what did it say, 81 degrees. That's cold.
Right.
And you bring his pulse back. You bring him back to life. Literally. He was going to die. He was dead. and you brought him back to life on the way. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you roll up into the hospital with a 15-person ER team. And I know what it's like to roll up into the hospital with that. I mean, heck, you and I have done that, where we land and we're offloading patients, and all of a sudden you've got a storm of people around you to take care of this. You know, we are one guy going down to the water doing triage, and then you show up to like a 15-person team. It's like, well, here you go.
Yeah.
Dude, that is, gosh. Well done, sir. Well done. God bless.
Let's see. What else is in there? That's it.
You know what? I got to ask you, like, see, you're done with this case. Like, and I know how it is for me when I get done with a case and you go back to the base, and then you sit back in the chair, you might flip on the TV or just, breathe it out. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, what is going through your mind after this whole thing was done? Just like ops normal or what?
Yeah, I was on duty.
So you're going back? Okay, time to get ready for the next one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, that's awesome. Jeez. All right, my friend. Well, I got one more that I want to touch on, and that is your I'm going to call this the big one.
Okay.
So you and I together have experienced the Distinguished Flying Cross. So I don't know if you want to call it lucky enough to earn one or blessed enough to earn one, but you and I were in situations where we earned it, and there was no doubt about it. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So citation to accompany the award of the Distinguished Flying Cross to Brian E. Laubenstein, Aviation Survival Technician, First Class, United States Coast Guard. Petty Officer Laubenstein is cited for extraordinary heroism while participating in an aerial flight as rescue swimmer aboard H-60 helicopter 6042 on 13 November 2003. Responding to a distressed call from the sailing vessel Lady Samantha that was disabled 150 nautical miles off Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The aircrew fought 85-knot wind gusts to locate the vessel being battered by massive seas. The vessel frequently rolled until its masts were in the water. The wildly swinging rigging made the direct hoist from the vessel impossible. The sailors tried to abandon the ship into their raft, but the howling winds parted the tether to the raft and they quickly disappeared downwind. The aircrew then ordered the sailors to enter the raging sea one at a time so they could be hoisted from the water. Undaunted by the massive 50-foot waves and 75-knot winds, Petty Officer Laubenstein instantly volunteered to enter the water. Demonstrating incredible courage and determination, he was lowered into the top of a wave and immediately fought his way through the massive breaking seas to reach the first survivor. Connected him to the rescue strap and signaled ready for pickup. Through a remarkably skilled effort, the entire crew, the first two rescues were completed in only 20 minutes. During the third rescue, the survivor slipped out of her flotation device and was in imminent danger of succumbing to the frigid waters. Without hesitation, Petty Officer Laubenstein went back into the raging sea, reaching the survivor just as she was about to go under. Because she had no flotation, he feared losing his grip in place of the rescue strap around her, instead relying solely on his strength. And he applied what's known as a physical grip, which for all of those that don't know, it's you're just basically holding on with sheer strength. So a physical grip recovery method and raised her 70 feet to the helicopter through 75-knot winds. Oh my God. Had he been unable to maintain his grip, she would have fallen to the water and perished. On the fourth rescue, complete darkness had fallen, obscuring the approaching wave crest. As Petty Officer Laubenstein was lowered into the water, a massive wave broke on him, burying him beneath the tons of foamed water. For a tense 27 seconds, the wave held him below the surface until he was able to fight his way up for air. Undaunted by the harrowing experience, he continued with the mission to rescue the fourth and fifth survivors. But Officer Laubenstein's actions, aeronautical skill, and valor were instrumental in the rescue of 5 persons. His courage, judgment, and devotion to duty were the most heartily commended, in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. Oh my God, Bri. Dude, this is insane. Dude, 75 knot winds, 85 gusts, like just getting there, 150 nautical miles offshore.
Yep.
Dude, all right, so walk me through. You get on, I mean, you get on scene and you're staring at a sailboat that's basically just rocking and rolling over 20-foot waves.
70 feet. That's a wave that's bigger than my house.
50-foot waves and 75 knot winds. 50 feet. That is insane. That's huge. And now you're watching the mast of this sailing vessel basically roll almost probably, well, you figure it's probably 80 degrees based on the waves, that it's smacking the wave and then going to the other wave and then going to the other wave. So the mast is just going back and forth, rigging getting flown around all over the place.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I got, there was 2 guys, 3 females, and the captain of the boat. And the boat was, it was a sailboat. It was a 60-foot double-masted sloop. And
this is a big boat.
This is a big boat. And I mean, it got destroyed. I mean, it was just insane. And I had some video, a CD on it, but I don't have.
No worries.
Yeah, you know. But yeah.
So the first person you get, so you get down to the water and you pull the first person out. Are you using a basket or quick strap? Oh, a rescue strap. And so you're doing a double up, right? You and the victim get pulled out of the water. All right, so now the next one. I want to get to the next one specifically, the third one. So the third girl. So you get the first 2, no problem. 20 minutes, in out, organized chaos. You're in the water, you get them out, boom. The third one.
Yeah.
Dude, you are basically bear hugging this girl.
Yep.
For 70 feet from the water to the helicopter.
Right. And it was windy too.
75 knots. Heck yeah, that's windy.
Yeah, we'll go.
Like I think the limit for a hoist off the top of my head on an 860 is 80 knots. Like, so 5 more knots of wind and you can't hoist. You're not supposed to. Mainly because the hoist can't handle it or the aircraft.
Yeah.
So now you're bear hugging this girl.
Yeah.
From 50-foot waves, 70 feet up to the helicopter. Dude, that's insane. Like that you can't make that up. Like, that's crazy.
No.
So what? Wow, dude. Wow. And then once you get her to the aircraft, now she's in the helicopter, you're in the helicopter, you got to go back down and get 2 more. Now it's getting dark. So twilight, for everybody that doesn't know, is that it's only about 20 minutes. It's not, maybe 30 minutes of time. It's not a very long time. You know, it gets sunset and then you have that 20-minute fade time and then boom, now it's dark. Well, the 20 minutes they actually talk about it here. It took you 20 minutes to get the first 2 people. Then the third person, now we're really getting dark. Now you got to go back. Once she gets in the aircraft, you got to get 2 more. So you get down to the water, you get hit by a wave and it pulls you under.
Like this wave, like, you know, like when you're boogie boarding.
Yeah.
And that curl, when the curl starts to come.
Yep.
When that curl came up and I came up onto that wave and I was like, holy shit, that's a big wave. That's exactly what I said. I said, this is a pretty fucking big wave. So I said, no, I'm going to swim into the wave, down into the wave, and then come back up. and I still
On the
got my
backside.
sick, but I didn't die. Then I popped up again.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I got a good like a whiplash on some of these waves, like that 50-footer.
Yeah.
It,
So when you popped up through that wave after getting like held down,
oh,
you're like,
okay.
oh,
Yeah. So I'm in the wave, and the wave was the second. I think there was 2 or 3 good size waves,
yeah.
and it crested. So I see the captain. So I dove down, and next thing I know, I look up and I'm like, "Hey, I found the captain." I grabbed him by his feet and pulled him down so I could get up and get some air.
Oh my God. So you're drowning the captain so you can get air. Hey, you know what? We do what we got to do. That's awesome. Oh my God. Reading this, Brian, there's no way that just anybody does this. You're talking about going back in every time. You're looking at 50-foot waves and you're saying, yeah, okay, I'm going to go back in again, and then again, and then again, and then again. You get your ass handed to you. And then, dude, that's awesome. So when you guys got back to the air station, because it had to have been at least a 30, 40-minute flight to get back.
Oh, we were something like
150 nautical miles, way up. So you're on your way back. How was the flight back? Just
it was bumpy.
of course it was. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's awesome. Oh
Yeah.
man. And then so when you land, what was it like when you landed? Everybody gets off, come into
Oh
the
yeah.
shop, like
When we landed on that case,
yeah.
the all the news media was there.
Wow. Dude, that is insane.
Yeah, that was good.
And then this case specifically took you further because you ended up going down to DC to represent for this case. And you had mentioned to me earlier that it was the commandant at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Was,
then you got to
Collins.
take your dad with you?
Yeah. So I said, "Hey, Dad, I got to go to this thing," and I said,
And this thing being an award ceremony. So
Yeah.
let's not just cut that
I
short.
said-
It's an award ceremony
Yeah.
for Brian Laubenstein, who just kicked ass and saved 5 people 150 nautical miles off the shore of Cape Cod. Like, well done.
Yeah, they have what is it called? The Coast Guard Foundation.
Yes. Yep.
You probably are on it. In it.
I don't know about that one, but so they did a full award ceremony and you got to bring your dad.
Yeah. And he's like he was pretty stoked, especially then because he's like once he saw Collins.
So this was something else. Like your dad and the commandant of the Coast Guard, Admiral Tom Collins, they grew up next to each other.
Yeah, they grew up on the same street in South.
That's crazy. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey Tom, hey Laubo, and you're like, hey, how do you guys?
It was funny because when we were in there, and my dad saw Collins, and they started talking, and then Collins is like, "Okay, come on, we're gonna go in this room," and they they had drinks and everything in there, and the guy there's another guy got their Distinguished Flyers Cross was Foreman, Dave Foreman.
Dave Foreman. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went through all the oil and everything. Remember, off of North Carolina.
Oh yep.
Yeah.
Trying to get him on this podcast too.
He was on this at the same the same award thing.
Yeah, the event.
Yeah.
Nice.
Me and Dave and my dad, and it was cool.
Oh my gosh, Laubo, these are insane. These are incredible. Well done, sir. Well done.
Oh, thanks.
So, like I said, thank you for allowing me to interview you and you sharing all these stories and stuff. I very much appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, you're the man. That's all there is to that.
All right.
So, I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
And thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Real ResQ podcast. Please take a minute and, as my daughters like to tell me all the time, like and subscribe. Oh yeah, I appreciate it. So I'm pulling chocks and taking off. But before I go, if anyone out there has a rescue story and would be willing to share it, I would be humbled and honored to have you as a guest. Or if you have any questions about rescue or anything else here that we talk about, please send me an email at therealresq@gmail.com. That's TheRealResQ@gmail.com. Or you can also check us out on our Instagram page at The Real ResQ, and that's at TheRealResQ. And for all of you standing the watch today, remember, when that SAR alarm goes off, those in distress are praying for a miracle. They are going to get you. Until next time, stay safe out there, everybody.